The 2020 Game Awards announced, or the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's thing, they announced their 2020 Game of the Year nominees this week. And the nominees are Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. I saw this list and I cringed hard. And then I remembered that it's 2020 and most of the games that were going to come out that would have likely made this list are not on them anymore. Because they all got delayed.
Yep.
Animal Crossing, I'm 100% on board with it being on the list insofar as that it literally carried the soul of humanity for the first 3 months of this pandemic. Globally. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I'm convinced that game would have sold 1/10 of the fucking copies that it did. But holy shit, it was all anyone talked about. Everyone had an island. Every politician, every fucking TV, movie star, everyone had their own shit sharing it. It was used for advertising. It was used for everything. Literally, the entire world sat down and played some fucking Animal Crossing. And so for that, even though it's not the best Animal Crossing game, for that, at the very least, as a game, what more can you ask for in a video game? So I'm good with it being on the list. Next up, Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is a good game, but it just shows how short this list that they had to pull from could be. Because even though I haven't played Doom Eternal, from everything I've heard about it from others that have played it and played the one that came before it, like Doom 2016, that was really good. Pretty much everyone was a bigger fan of the one that came before, and the whole like Doom platforming thing. Remember we saw that at the E3 demos and we were like, why is there platforming in Doom? Yeah, people were like, it's still a good game, but Game of the Year candidate?
Nah.
Maybe not. Final Fantasy VII Remake, the fuck is this doing on the list? Yeet that into the fucking sun. That's a no. That's a hard no. There could have been no other games that came out in 2020. Final Fantasy VII Remake is not making the Game of the Year list. Farmville takes that title over top of Final Fantasy VII Remake. But you knew it was going to be there because if it wasn't, Jeff Keighley's head would be on a spike somewhere in an open field, plastered all over Instagram because it's Final Fantasy VII Remake. Ghost of Tsushima, I'm on board with that being on that list. Probably one of the best games for sure of the year. No, I got no questions about that. Hades is the game of the year, and if it doesn't win game of the year, I'm going to be very upset. And we'll need more therapy because of it. And The Last of Us Part 2, well, you all knew that was going to be on the list, and we all also know that the odds are it's probably going to be the one that takes game of the year. In most publications, if I had to take a guess. My hope and prayer is that Hades takes it because I actually believe Hades is the best game of the year by no small margin. My brain tells me that there's a real good chance it's The Last of Us Part 2 that takes it. Animal Crossing ain't taking it. Doom Eternal isn't going to take it. Probably not even Ghost of Tsushima. This is going to come down to Hades, The Last of Us Part 2, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Which means it's David versus Goliaths with an S. And all my hopes behind Hades getting that shit. But we'll have to wait and see. So there you go. I know you haven't played any of these games, Jeff, but if you had to guess which one takes home Game of the Year. Oh yeah, you did play Last of Us Part 2, that's true. Which one do you think is taking it?
I don't know. Wasn't particularly a great year of games.
No.
So I think Hades might take it.
Yeah. That's my prayer. Hades, I find me a person that said a single bad fucking thing about Hades, whether it's a critic or a player. You can't find them. That never happens. Like on Steam right now, yeah, I was just about to look at that. 98% thumbs up at 55,000 reviews on Steam. Game of the year. If it gets robbed by The Last of Us or fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm gonna have to call out Jeff Keighley on that shit. I'm gonna just have to be honest with you. That would be horrendous and a complete disservice to Supergiant. So, hopefully it goes that route.